Pope, and of course, we have James Minchau here.
Howdy.
We're talking about downsizing. Now, me and my wife have been looking at the concept of downsizing our mortgage. We've been thinking that, maybe it's time we can look around and get, houses maybe out in Chilliwack or something like that.
That's right.
And we can get a house out there for what we have in equity and basically be mortgage-free or pretty darn close to mortgage-free.
Yeah, and that's true. That's the true meaning of downsizing financially, right? Is that like, what are you going to do with all that mortgage, all that interest payments you're paying now, right?
Yeah.
What can you do with that? Like, if you had to add up all the mortgage you're paying now, where are you going to go?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. If we could save on our mortgage payments every month, and then, and like you said, we're getting older, we're getting busier.
Yes, indeed. How does it happen?
And we're like, we want to travel. We want to go to Europe. We want to go to Venice before it sinks, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So we're like, if we were to downsize, and I think we're still a couple years away from that just because we still have 3 kids at home.
Yikes.
I don't think the oldest is ever going anywhere. He's got it too good.
Well, yeah, you keep. Well, I mean, sometimes you downsize. In fact, my parents themselves downsized to get rid of my sister out of the house.
I've heard a few people do that.
They literally did. They're like, oh, we're buying a 900 square foot home on 2 acres in. We came from a big house in Delta to Chilliwack, and they downsized to get rid of a bedroom. My brother and I shared a small little bedroom, but there wasn't nowhere for her to stay. Sorry.
Did we mention that we're moving to a 1-bedroom condo?
So, there's all these reasons that you can downsize, and obviously, getting that mortgage down would be a huge help, because now all that money gets to go to your passions in life. I mean, life is certainly about making a secure, beautiful place to live. That's a massive part of life. But once you've had that and it's old hat, it's time to use some of the equity, because you're always going to build equity, and it's time to use it at some point, right? Use some of it anyway.
And I look at my dad as an example. He's had the same property since 1974 in Richmond.
Yeah, wow.
He bought it for $43,000.
So cool. Yeah,
it's a double wow.
Wow,
it's worth a lot of money now.
Yeah,
and we keep telling him, Dad, sell it and enjoy it. You're like 87. He's in good health still, and everything else. He's like, no, I don't want to move. All right.
What do you downsize from there though?
He would we'd try to get him to move out here, where he can have a smaller property and maybe have a garage where he can tinker on his hot rod cars and stuff,
Yeah. Good for him.
So we've been trying to get him to do that, but my aunt finally said, he doesn't want to move. He's not going to move until he wants to move. So you can quit bugging him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. These are some of the upsides to downsizing. Just came up with that myself.
I like that.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm putting that on a t-shirt.
I think I'm going to that's what I'm going to title the show now.
Yeah,
that's
the upside to downsizing.
The upside to downsizing.
That's a good one.
I like that. You're a genius.
You're a genius. Yes, some people have to downsize. Things go wrong in the world or the job or health, and you have to downsize. But generally, people are doing it because they want to, and it's part of a plan. And so, but how do you downsize? Like, do you just one day wake up and say, I just want to pay less mortgage, or I want a smaller house? I mean, you definitely need some assistance in it, because it's a big job. Like, A, where are you going to put all the stuff? B, where are you going to put you? Who's involved? Where are you going to go? How much does it cost there? And then, do you want to learn a whole new place? Like, you moving to Chilliwack, like, you don't know Chilliwack. Well, maybe you do
a little bit, but no, yeah. Again, you have to learn where you're going.
Yeah,
and
like where the grocery stores are, but you don't know where not to go for something, and you're learning a whole new town again. And so having someone around to help you with that's great. Like I keep talking about these guys, because the whole reason I'm doing this show is because we started talking about this the other day when I was listing their house. These guys on 70A Avenue in Langley, because they were saying, well, we love it here, but we want to be out in nature, and so they were asking, like, how are we going to do this? Well, okay, so we sat down, we made a plan of how it's all going to go, and trying to arrange for a 40-yard bin to put all of their the stuff they actually need to keep but can't store at their new home. All this stuff you need to have some tactics involved, and you need some people who are going to know how to do this. And so just doing it yourself, of course, it can be done, but gosh, it's if you got some help from some people, you really should have that.
Well, that's where as a realtor, you guys come in, because again, you seem to have the answers, and if you don't, you know where to find them.
Well, yeah, and we because we work until 11:30 at night, we tend to say, okay, well, you need something to. You need something. I'll go run and get it. So finding the answer is sort of our or at least most of our plans. Is if you have a question, you just call me and I will make sure that by the next day I have the answer for
I've had texts from Michelle at all hours of the day.
Yes. She. I don't think she actually sleeps.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, no. I have a feeling there's maybe two of them.
They're twins.
The twins.
Well, you might be onto something.
That's right. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna put a little. I'm gonna draw a little thing on her elbow one day, and then see if it's there
that
the
would
next
explain
day.
Because from midnight to I think 6 a.m., I have had nothing maybe between that.
Maybe not,
but still, she's getting 5-6 hours of sleep a night if I'm doing the math right.
Oh yeah, I've had an email from her. I wake up and it was sent at 2:45 or something. It's. Yeah,
well, that's because Richard's making noise in the studio.
Oh, so. Yeah. I mean, their dinner time is 10, I think.
Yeah, because he's not even up yet. So
yeah.
Close to getting up yet.
You visit their house and it's I was going to make some supper. I was like, well, I was going to go to bed.
I know when he comes in, he did a show a few weeks ago, and I'm like, this is way before your normal wake up time, and he's like. Musician, 10 o'clock is the earliest I get up. Come on, man.
Exactly. Waking up, what's the saying? Wake up, what T-shirt are you going to wear or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
The crack of noon?
The crack of noon.
That's right. Yeah, but, okay, so, I mean, me and you were famous for getting off topic here.
No, not us.
No, exactly.
You know what? Me and Michelle get off topic, too. It's not
really? Does this happen?
It does.
It does, eh? Well... Yeah. That's okay then. We'll just get up topic. We should do an off topic episode.
We'll talk whatever we want to talk about.
We won't even. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that next time. We'll see what kind of hijinks we get into. We have to tie it into real estate somehow.
Yeah, we'll find a way.
Yeah.
Me and Michelle have had half episodes talking about movies and stuff, and her work in movies and. Got
well, I mean, I listen to podcasts about all sorts of stuff, and some of my favorite ones are the ones where they kind of go off topic. But yeah. So, but preparing your home for downsizing, this is a really big one because you can't bring all your stuff to the you can't bring your 3,500 square foot to your tiny
1,800 square foot.
14 or 1,800 square foot. You just can't. So what are you going to throw away? So you have to start this months before you even think of listing your home. So what I normally say is find a real estate agent who wants to work with you, in the future, so that they can come over and they can kind of look at what you want and actually sit down and they can drive a conversation and create these questions that you're going to need for when you do actually downsize. They can start you thinking on things that you wouldn't have thought about, walk through your home, then kind of go through in your mind what their new home is going to be like or what they want in a new home. And then that way they can start looking for those homes, knowing what you have, and say, okay, well that thing that you don't want to throw away would go perfect in this house. And these other things are going to have to go. And then this professional can actually work with you to get you moved and happy and keep all the things you want to keep and help you get rid of all the things that you certainly don't need.
Yeah, we do have a tendency to keep things we don't need. You find that when you move.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, why have we been hanging on to this? And, of course, there's sentimental value and things and stuff like that. But sometimes you have to start just kind of cut bait and go, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah. My schoolwork from grade 11, where you're like, well, there could be some cool drawings in there.
Yeah.
No, there aren't.
Or you go through your clothes and you're like, I haven't worn this shirt in forever.
I'm terrible
It's
at that.
definitely not in style anymore.
No.
And I don't know when it's going to come back around, so no, I better get rid of it. Although I do have a couple shirts in my closet going, I'm just going to wait for this to come back around in style.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
it will.
I had a T-shirt that was all like ripped up and distressed, and I wear it now, but it was from the 90s. And back then, it wouldn't have been cool, all ripped up and tattered, and now it's like, cool shirt, dude.
Now you're good.
Rock on, my friend. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like you said, that's one of the things, like you do find, it forces you to, reevaluate your need for a lot of things and does it still fit in your life and stuff. And I mean, I'm by no means a minimalist.
No.
I kind of wish I could be, but it's just not my nature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't need a whole lot of clutter either.
Yeah. I find that I have too much stuff at my house, holding on to stuff, and then you come home and it's just everywhere. And then you clean it up, and then the next day it's everywhere, and then you clean it up. And I always thought, man, if I could live in a small place, there wouldn't be any room for the stuff to take out of something. Like, where does all this stuff come from? Because it's put away somewhere and somebody brings it upstairs. If I didn't have it downstairs, that thing wouldn't even exist. Mm-hmm. And I just think my house could stay so clean if I could only downsize to something, but then I wouldn't have a recording studio in my home.
And that's kind of a necessity. Plus, you do have kids at home still, and problem with that is as they get older, they start to then collect things.
Yes.
And in my garage right now, I have a whole bunch of tools and things that my son has bought, and I'm like, or collected, and I'm like, I've got a list. He's filling up my garage slowly but surely over time. He also has 3 cars now.
Whatever. What, video games aren't good enough?
No, he plays video games, but no, he's I have 1 car. He has 3.
Yeah. See, that's because he's young. He's upsizing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You downsize your car collections. There's just so much to do, and why do it? Why do it? Because you need the life that you see yourself in once you've done it. Mm-hmm. You see yourself hanging out in the south of France for 2 weeks. And right now, I couldn't even think of doing that. There's mortgage and bills and kids. And once downsized, boy, oh boy, that's the first place I'm going. And so you need to have a goal in mind for it. You can't just say, I'm going to downsize because, Bob down the street went and bought a tiny home. And lived in a tiny home because he, footprint and ecological reasons.
My wife can't handle being as small. She needs space.
Yeah.
She needs to be able to push me in and go do something else.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch a movie here. Go downstairs and play your drum kit. Why don't you go outside and do something,
What?
Go play in traffic.
Just go play in traffic. Yeah. I was going to say, go play on the highway.
That was my dad's old thing. Why don't you go play in traffic? Mm-hmm. That's when I knew I was annoying my dad. Oh, being a Gen Xer. It was a different time.
Yes, it was.
Now,
kids were not that special.
If I said that to my kid, they'd be calling child services.
Yes, exactly. Or they would just go and do it. Yes, Dad.
Yeah. No, yes, Dad. There's no yes, Dad with my kids.
Those 2 words don't go together. Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, it's... The kids will upsize things, but we were talking just briefly about like the footprint. There's a lot of people who like to think about the sort of ecology of downsizing, mm-hmm. and how we don't need a furnace blowing out gases, or we don't need all this electrical being used, and we can live in tiny homes. And that was a big trend for a while, and maybe still is. I don't know. I don't see a lot of them here.
Seems to be, but I mean, we're moving more towards the lane homes and stuff like that.
I mean, you can't really live in a tiny home when it rains for 70% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, in Los Angeles, I'm sure that's a fun place to live in a tiny home. Arizona, I could probably live in a tiny home there.
Hawaii, yeah, that'd be no problem. Well, there's a lot of rain there, but it doesn't rain that long.
A lot of rain, yeah, exactly. You have a good umbrella.
Yeah, it rains in Hawaii for like 20 minutes and you're good the rest of the day.
Sounds great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But yeah, but tiny homes here, I don't know. Sorry, tiny home manufacturers who are listening to this this show. But I don't know. It's this guy's opinion that a tiny home just doesn't work in a place where it rains all the time, because you need to spend most of your time outdoors. I mean, which is a really good thing to do anyway. Once you have downsized, you can spend more time outdoors with but you can pick where you want to spend those time. You can fly to Arizona. You can go to Florida and live outdoors in the wintertime, no problem.
So we've really come up with a lot of reasons why people would want to downsize, but we're running out of time. We've got to downsize what we're doing.
Oh, we're downsizing our talk.
We are. So if people want to, maybe see your listings, what listings have they got? Like right now, we have some listings to talk about. Or
I do. I have two that are special and dear to me. Well, three that are special and dear to me, I guess.
They're all special.
Well, I know, but the one that inspired this session was 23133 70A Avenue. It's a beautiful 3,200 square foot log home with about 2,000 to maybe 2,400 square feet of workshop space, huge tall ceiling workshop space on 1.76 acres in Langley. Just listed, and I'm loving this space. Did an open house. There's going to be an open house this weekend on Sunday at 10 o'clock till noon on Sunday for that log home in Langley. I have, of course, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sumas Prairie View, 31.5 acres, 4,100 square feet with a 6,000 square feet of commercial workshop on 41056 Belrose Road. That place is not to be missed. I got a couple of showings going on soon on that one. You might want to get in on it if you want to see this beautiful park-like place.
You have the great video for that one too.
Oh, thank you. You've seen that.
One,
oh, yeah. That one's that one gets around. I think it's been seen by 154,000 people. If you haven't seen it yet, 41056 Belrose Road. It's a really fun one. And then one in Mission that's really dear to my heart. It's 32606 14th Avenue. It's a beautiful, it's a perfect little 90s home, super well maintained, gorgeous roof and gardens, but in the backyard, you gotta check this place out, especially on a nice sunny day, because it's got hot tubs and like a full deck with barbecue lounge, covered barbecue lounge, raised bed gardens, fire pits. It backs onto green space, so there's no one even behind you. Gorgeous, perfect neighbors. You got to check that place out too. It's just awesome.
It's very cool. Now, if people want to see these, where can they go?
They can go to jamesminchau.com, and all of the little listing friends will be there at the bottom of the page.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.